We are live. We are live. Monday night. Welcome to Just the Tip with SAZON. In case you're new to the channel, this is where we talk briefly, kind of a synopsis, summary of a lot of our guests' times through sports, through hobbies, memorabilia, however it is they're linked to the sports world. We will let you know. We'll give the story. Today we have a guest, Coach Oates. He's been in the New York City baseball, how can I say it, programs, lived it through the old school parade ground leagues and, went to college through baseball, met some great people along the way. He's going to come tell a story and join us tonight as we give you just a tip with our song, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming in the room and supporting the channel. We're, we're trying to give everybody their flowers, who's been putting this work and paid it forward. A lot of times, we don't see each other often at this, day and age of social media and things. And, when we get to see each other, it's like a wake or something. So we just want to, we want to give people their flowers and just do while we're here. So without further ado, I'd like to bring my guest on for tonight, Coach Oates.
Hey, how you doing? You can hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. So Alex, let's get right into it, right into the meat and potatoes, as they say. So where did it all start? Where did you grow up, and where did the love start for baseball?
I grew up on Tremont and Katona by Katona 4 with the lights. So surrounding the neighborhood is nothing but baseball fields. You got Katona 4, 3, 2, 1. It surrounded the two projects right there on Katona. So growing up, it was either spongeball, stickball, frisbee football, basketball. It was one of the sports. So it wasn't no playgrounds back then. We should just go outside right there in Arthur Park and just be outside till the sun comes down and just play all day.
Yeah, there was no social media. There was no PS4, PS5s back in those days when we played. So I get where you're coming from. On the block, we were the same way. We had our wiffle ball games and the sponge ball, off the stoop, whatever it was to stay busy. So I get what you're saying. And once that street light went on, you better get your ass in front of your crib or inside because mommy's gonna come with the chancletas or something.
That's right. That's right. But, so when I was growing up, so around the age of 7 or 8, my brother DJ is 5 years older than me.
Shout out to DJ in the room.
Yeah, growing up, he was my hitting idol, so we used to look up to him. But with that 5-year difference, I was always still able to compete when we played spongeball and stickball.
Right.
So that's where the love came in. I always got picked. I was always able to play. I was always able to strike people out. Nobody could strike me out. So even though we had that 5-year gap, I wasn't playing with the 7, 8-year-olds. I'm playing with the 12 and 13-year-olds. Right. So my brother going outside playing with him every day, that's what made me better.
It's amazing. You said DJ has you by 5 years, you said?
He has me by 5 years, right. Yeah.
For all these years, I could have swore you guys were twins, twin brothers. You guys are identical.
It's worse when we together in the same room. I guess, yeah, we look just alike. It's crazy.
Part of the tag team, right? There it is commercial. But all right, so you grew up in the Bronx. How was it like the community leagues there? Was it like were the coaches teaching you things, or was it like just go there and learn for yourself, like kind of watch TV and learn? Or
I was fortunate. I could say throughout my life, I was fortunate. I had Jose Cortez was a local guy who put his time into the Little League, and so for my project building, you walk about 10 minutes.
Alex, sorry, because what Little League in the Bronx was that?
I don't remember the name, but I knew where I grew up at. In the projects, it was across the street. So we would just walk right there. Little League is right there. So Jose Cortez, who I grew up with, was my father's best friend at the time, started teaching me how to play baseball and organize baseball. besides playing with my brother in the park, that was the first organized team. With Aliyah was one of the best little league teams in the area. Then from there, we could get into it. Then I went to go play for George Bodine and the Bronx Angels.
Okay. I remember the Bronx Angels.
Yeah, they played over there at Allerton Park, Allerton Avenue, over there, Moshula Parkway. So I played for George before he passed away. And at the time, so now I'm like about 13 at this time. At the time, he tagged me the best 13-year-old in New York City at the time.
Right.
Again, so because I'm 13 and I'm playing with 15 and 16-year-olds.
Right.
And I'm playing inter-squad games with my brother, with the 17 and 18-year-old games, right? So we playing those games, and we're in the Bronx, and we thought the Bronx Angels was the best team ever created because that's who we play for, right? And then one summer, youth service came to the Bronx in the tournament, and that was all she wrote. We didn't know what that was. Like, I'm 13, they coming, you see them coming, all the bags, the shirts, and there's 25 players singing in the dugout. Like, we didn't know what was going on, but this went on for like 7 innings,
right? And
they beat us like 15-2, something like that. And my brother looked at me. I looked at my brother. My brother was like, "My man, you playing for them next year?
Right?
We're gonna get on the train. We're gonna figure it out." And I went to go try out for youth service the following year.
Shouts to DJ. He said the Arthur Little League. That's what it was called.
Arthur. Okay.
Yeah. Youth service was definitely. I was the same boat. I played a community league till about 13. And when I went first play with I think it was 6A Precinct was my first like experience outside of the community league. I didn't know what a cutoff man was. They were like, "You're the cutoff man." I'm like, "What is that?" You know, I had my hat backwards. They were like, "Oh, turn your hat around." You know, it was straightening me out, learning the game the right way, right? So you go to service. You make the team now.
Well, let's not skip. That wasn't easy.
All right. Oh no.
No, because let me not skip that. So to describe January 1st, I'm like 14, 15 now, has to be about 75 baseball players in the gym.
Right.
And remember, Mel was in love with speed, and I wasn't the fastest guy in the world.
Right.
So I couldn't run under 7.0. So I'm like, I told my brother, I'm going to get cut, man. These guys are running 6'6", 6'5". But the only thing I had in my back pocket was the stick. If I get to swing the stick, I'm going to make the team.
Right.
But if we basing it just on running, I'm out of here.
Agility test, I ain't winning that.
I'm not winning that. But what happened was people started dropping out because they couldn't take the running. So 70 went down to 50, 50 went down to 40. And before you know it, you one of the 30 left and you're still holding on to the stick. And then that's how I made it, because if it was based on speed, I had no shot.
Yeah. Youth service was very intimidating, right, as a kid. And as an adult, I guess youth service is very intimidating as far as, like you said, they're coming in there, they're chanting, they're with the bags.
Yeah.
But then also, like you said, going to the gym and running, it kept me away. I'm not gonna lie.
And seeing them hit them ground balls for the first time, it's like, whoa, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
This is no joke, man. I seen people get hit in the kneecap, elbows. And I remember, like, when is this guy ever going to call my name, right? Because you're eventually going to get called on those ground balls. And when he calls your name, I remember just going out there like, man, look, I'm going to give him my he hit them balls pretty hard, man.
Yeah. And he would make you come closer and closer, right? No?
Not, if you was catching him, he left you alone. If you shied away from the ball, then he got on you. But if you caught like 5, 6 in a row, he didn't beat you up too much. It's when the player showed that he was scared, when he's trying to teach you how to be a man, hey, you got to buckle down.
Right. Don't be afraid of the ball.
Yeah.
So you're 14, right? You said?
Yeah, 14, 15. I'm out there. And I'm playing for Daryl Tebow at the time.
I remember Daryl.
Right.
Because Daryl was back and forth buying his service at one point. I remember Daryl. Yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay. So is there you make it through your service. What guys are on that team? Is eventually, I know they always had studs on those teams.
So on that 15-year-old team at the time, so Frank Rodriguez wasn't there yet, right? So there was this kid named Francisco Perez was the shortstop. At the time, the two studs were Francisco Perez on my age group and David Wagner. We had a catcher who ran a 6'6", and he had a hose. And Francisco Perez was a switch hitting shortstop with a hose. And the other groups were, David Wallace, Franklin Johnson, Julio Jimenez. You had Jose Rubiera, Alex Aries is on the team, about to get drafted from George Washington.
Right.
So you're looking up to those guys.
Who did he play with? The Marlins, I believe, right?
He played for the Marlins. Yeah, he went to George Washington.
Right.
So after Sean Dunston and Ralphie Novoa, then it was Alex Aries.
Right.
And Ruby Ever went to Clinton. So Clinton High School at the time and George Washington is like the top two at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So were you a part of the famous, I believe it was Farmington, the New Mexico team, right? That Manny Ramirez.
The 89 team.
89 team. Okay.
The 89 team.
I won the city championship in 89 with Fort Hamilton. So we're dating ourselves here, brother.
Okay. Okay. So Danny Venezia and the Jermaine Swinton is on your team.
Yeah, I believe we had 4 guys drafted from that team. Danny Venezia, Jermaine Swinton, Julius Alfonso, and Francisco Fanet. Yes.
Now, Jermaine, he used to strike out a lot. But I can tell you with my own 2 eyes, from Diamond 7 to Diamond 8, he hit into the other dugout.
No, yeah.
That has to be at least 500 feet.
He hit a ball in Fort Hamilton. It was like, nah, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But he was 6'4", 220 at 16 years old.
Right.
So, it was a no-brainer. They're like, we're drafting this kid. He's already got the MLB body.
Right.
We gotta teach him.
He's going no matter what. Right.
Joe Boo couldn't hit that curveball.
Right. But on the 89 team, Franklin Johnson's at first base, got drafted.
I remember him.
Jose Flores is at second base.
I think Johnson went to Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember.
Franklin Johnson went to Clinton.
Clinton, Bronx. Okay.
And then he went to college with me at Howard Junior College in Texas.
Gotcha.
So his famous home run was at Clinton High School. He hit it through the goalpost. And that's, I don't know, 450.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Jose Flores, we call him Coco. He's at second. He got drafted. Obviously, Frank Rodriguez is at short. He got drafted. Manny's in center. He got drafted. Freddie Smith, pitcher, left fielder. He got drafted. Carlos Sanchez, he got drafted.
Yeah.
Danny Venezia got drafted. The list. I always used to tell people, and I say it's a joke, but they don't believe it. Like, the entire team got drafted except me. They be like, oh, you're crazy. I'm like, man, if you check the books, all those guys got drafted.
No, that team was crazy. I remember that team. The Farmington team was where Manny got on the map, right? That was where I think he took Steve Carsey deep or something like that. Or
that might have been the year after me.
After you gone, okay.
Because they went 2 years in a row.
Got you. Okay.
The year I was there, if you want to say claim to fame, we was in the regionals and we lost game 1, 2-1. Freddie Smith pitched all 7 innings, and we lost the first game on a wild pitch, 2-1. And we get back to the hotel, and Manny's upset. Frank's upset. They kind of beat up the hotel a little bit. We went out to the park, the next field, and it was like 3:15 down the lines and 3:40 to center. And we're like 17, 18, and we're like, we're going to hit a lot out today. And we sure did. We had like 7 home runs. So the following day, the tournament director must have told Mel that this field's too small for you guys. And he was like trying to get us out of the tournament. So the next morning, we played at a college field. It was like 330 down the lines and 400 to center. Mm-hmm. And Manny is 2 years younger than me. I'm 18. He's 16 because he has a late birthday.
Right.
We get to the park. He's in third. I'm in fourth. And he looks at me and he goes, I'm going to hit it out. And I'm looking at him like, Manny, it's 400 to center, bro. Just hit in the gap like you bugging out right now. Right. And if anybody remembers back in the days, remember he used to tap his helmet and lean forward before he hit. First pitch fastball, dead center. And that's what I was like, this is different.
Yeah, it was a different sound. That. It was definitely – that's why I tell guys, like, Manny hit forever, like, as far as I could remember.
Correct.
You know what I mean? He was a beast.
In New Mexico, he went 8 for 10. 2 home runs with like 4 doubles. He only made 2 outs.
Yeah, no. He was a problem for sure. Manny being Manny, like you said, though, he said he can hit it out, and he does. Yeah. So now you play for service. You played high school ball?
I went to Norman Thomas.
Okay.
Norman Thomas. This was when it was like, all-girl vocational school. So my brother went there first and kind of put the school on the map from like 80 to 84 or 79, 84, something like that.
Right.
And they made the players a couple of times, and DJ's hitting bombs, and Norman Thomas is transforming from an educational school to now a sports school. And then as I'm playing for the Bronx Angels, DJ's coach, who became my coach, Morris, recruited me to go to Norman Thomas. So we lived in the Bronx. He said, "Don't worry about the paperwork. You go on to Norman Thomas."
Right.
So we on that 55 bus and the 6 train all the way to 33rd Street. Then I went to Norman Thomas as well, and we made the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years.
Okay. My man Pete Delgado went there, but I think he's after you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Pete. He's a little bit after. He's like around my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a year. But yeah, Pete Delgado went there. So you go to Norman Thomas. So college, right? You end up going to Norfolk State, Virginia.
I went to Howard first.
Howard. Okay.
I went to Howard Junior College first. Me, David Wallace, Julio, and Franklin Johnson. We was all roommates. And that was in Big Spring, Texas. And I was kind of
that was in my division. I went to New Mexico.
Okay.
NMJC. Yeah, I went to New Mexico.
Okay.
I went right after Coco. Coco left. I was there with his brother, actually, Carlos.
Okay.
My roommate. Yeah. So yeah, I know Howard and Odessa were the teams in that conference.
And in Texas, I'm getting dropped off from New York, and all the outfielders are sophomores. I'm getting foul balls in the bleachers. I wasn't ready for that.
Right.
I can look back now and say, if somebody's going to drop me off in the middle of college and you're not going to play and you're going to go get foul balls, I'd have never went there.
Right.
But I killed them in inter squads. I destroyed inter squads. So eventually, I made it to the starting lineup. And then I hit a home run and I pimped it and they sent me home.
Wow.
Because I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
I'm from New York. This is what we do.
Yeah, we got the swag.
We playing against Tarleton State or Tarleton University.
Wait.
And I hit a big 3-run home run.
Alex, let me cut you off for a second. Because this resonates real funny to me. You gonna tell me Frank Rodriguez ain't pimp nothing at Howard?
He went there the year after me.
Yeah.
He would have been my roommate. He was there the year after me because he's a year younger than me. So we didn't get to play together. I would have been his roommate the next year.
Frankie would have gave him the ground water short stare down.
Yeah. I had one in Tarleton State and I kind of flipped it back. And the next guy got hit. And I remember on the bus, the coach looked at me and said, "Son, we don't play like this here." And I thought it was, a suspension or just warn me, like this is not what we do. 8 o'clock in the morning, that plane ticket was at the door.
Wow.
So that was a wake-up call. And I was okay, all right, this is real life. Yeah. Then the following year, I went to Norfolk State.
Okay. Yeah. It was actually, it's the funny thing for me to go to New Mexico, like no high school coach, like my guys that were there on the team from the Bonnies and Service were the ones that got me over to New Mexico. They're like, "Yo, we got this kid." I wasn't doing nothing. They brought me like in January. So it was I understand the culture shock of it, like you said too, and the way we, because I was the same boat. Like, man, I'm like, I ain't playing. And, this dude ahead of me soft as hell. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get on. And then, I remember I ended up, I punched the wall, like the cement. And I was like, dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like the wall's going to win every time.
Right.
And then, I guess they told, how the Karen, Kens and Karens, they was like, yo, he hurt his hand and that. So I strapped it up. I told the trainer to strap me up and they put me on first. I think I went like 2 for 3 and played, I ain't saying nothing. Like I was hurt, but I played through it. And my coach was like, you know what? This kid wants it. You know what I mean? And after that, I never, I don't think I sat the game. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a different world, man. But it was some of the best baseball I ever played. You know what I mean? Like leaving New York and, getting the swings, all the swings you want and things like that. I think, it was some of the best baseball out there. So you go to Norfolk, and that's a what? At
the time, it was Division II All Black. But now they're D1 in the MEAC.
Okay.
But at the time, back in the 80s and 90s, there was literally all black colleges.
Right.
Obviously, we know that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But I played when it was literally, 30 black ball players from all over playing against the division with all the all black schools.
Cookman, like those schools back then.
I was Virginia State, Virginia Union, St. Augustine, Shaw. Those schools. That was one conference. Norfolk State won the CIAA like 20 years in a row.
Wow.
Some astronomical number like that. And I went there and I got thrown off the team there. So I think first or second I popped up the infield fly and I'm like, where am I running? You can't run.
Right. You're out.
And he threw me off the team. And Unique Rencher.
That was my guy, Unique.
Okay, his father and Marty Miller at Norfolk State were good friends.
Okay.
So Unique Wrench's father called Marty and said, hey, I got this kid. He's kind of a knucklehead, hothead. I need to get him in school. And then that's how I got to Norfolk State. And my brother and his girlfriend at the time, they drove me down to Virginia, and that's how I got to Norfolk State.
Okay.
So after the first year when I got thrown off and I begged to come back, I was like, look, I got 3 years left. Let me just chill out, man.
Right.
Let me just hit the home run and run around the bases.
Put your head down.
Yeah, put my head down. Don't say nothing. And then you get the what's wrong with you?
Right.
Why are you not excited? Well, if I get excited, you're going to throw me off the team. We played against William and Mary, a Division I school. I had a double with the base loaded to win the game, and I'm standing on second like this.
Right.
The coach was like, what's wrong? Well, if I celebrate, you're going to throw me off the team. So he goes,
I'm going to throw you off for being a wise ass. Get out of here.
Yeah. So after that, I just hid and just ran around the base like, I'm not doing this no more because I have no more options.
Right. Okay, so now I want to take it to the next question. You went into coaching, right? Did you go into coaching right away? Did you just come back and play ball in New York?
I came back. I coached the 15 and 16-year-olds at I'm gonna go back further now.
Go ahead.
Norman Thomas High School, we didn't have a coach. My brother tell you we didn't have a coach. Morris just bought the equipment.
Right.
So at that time, my freshman year to senior year, I'm making the lineup as a 14-year-old kid, making the lineup, making the pitching decision. So the coaching started there.
Right.
Then when I came back, I coached the 15-year-olds at youth service, and then I went and got a job. So after I didn't get drafted, I kind of threw all the baseball stuff away and went and got a job. And then funny story is when I was married at the time,
right.
We was moving, and Manny's baseball card fell out of a box. My brother had the card, and he gave it to me to just hold on because we were hoping that he'd make the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So everybody had his youth service card with the signature. Nice. Before he got caught for whatever.
Right.
And my wife at the time looks me in the eyes and says, you probably sucked. You see how that just ran through your body?
Yeah.
So I looked at her like, are you kidding me right now? And in 2008, I went on Facebook, started finding my friends. And since 2008 to like this year, you couldn't get me off the field.
Right.
So that's how it started. I started playing with the Braves in St. Mary's. And we were 19-3, and we got bumped in the first round. So I told the guys in the dugout, I said, listen, Willie doesn't want to coach no more. If you believe in me, just give me a shot with this same exact team. Don't break up nothing. We'll add a few more pieces, and let me coach you guys. And they allowed me, and the rest is history.
Right. Now, the guy pimps a home run. Are you cutting him?
It depends. Times have changed, right? So
Absolutely.
we was playing a game to get in the playoffs, and the first baseman for me, Jose Ramirez, he hits a ball off the gate and only got a single. I took him out the game.
Right.
That's unheard of in adult baseball with your superstar. I took him out the game. It's like, yo, he's supposed to be on second, man. I took him out the game. But everybody's friendly now. Nobody throws at each other.
Right.
I've seen guys hit balls across the street, wait for it to land, throw the bat in the air, then finally start jogging around the bases. So times are way different.
Yeah, I stayed some of that. I'm still some of that old school. I understand let the kids play type stuff, but I also understand like don't show your, to me, respect your opponent and just play the game the right way. But it's a thin line. It's tough. It's like you said, you want to let them play, have fun, but
I'll make you laugh. Check this out. We in Roberto Clemente. And we getting killed. It's like 18-2, and it's a playoff game. And after it was like 50-2, this guy still second. So I go to the other dugout. I go, yo, where y'all play baseball at, bro? It's 15-2. We already waved the right flag. Yeah. He go, oh, so we're gonna talk to him. We're gonna talk to him. I said, yo, this guy steals again. I'm gonna do something that you're never gonna forget. I mean, everybody laughs you off. The guy gets on base again and steals second. I said, all right. I let off the next inning. I said, okay, watch this. So I go to the other dugout going, I'm going to hit a home run, and now watch what I do. Again, everybody thinks it's a joke. Yeah, okay, whatever. First pitch fastball, dead center. I jogged. When I got to third, I hit third and walked backwards.
You moonwalked on him?
Moonwalked backwards, and they was in the third day dugout, and I was just talking to them. Don't you dare throw me if I just walk backwards. And it was unheard of at the time. I just walked backwards.
That's hilarious. So, Alex, again, this is just the tip. We try to give us synopsis summaries of the years through the sports, through the baseball. You're paying it forward. You're coaching now still. My last question to you is: if you had one mulligan in baseball as a player and as a coach, what would it be? What I mean mulligan, for those to understand, is a do-over. Uh, if there's anything you would wish you could do over, what would it be?
Work harder. The game was too easy to me. Hit the gym more.
Mm-hmm.
I was 160 pounds when I got to Texas. I'm probably roommating with people who are on the juice. Right. Now that we look back, right? I'm 160, 65 pounds, if that, and it's just this skinny black kid, and the ball jumps off his back. Never lifted a weight, never ran, never put the wheel around my stomach, the tire and ran. It was just God-given talent.
Right.
This kid can hit. But if I can go back, I will put the hitting with the workouts and the weights and try to get a little stronger. And I just didn't work out. The game was too easy to me. There was no reason to work out. So we went at Norfolk State, we faced Billy Wagner. He struck out the first two batters. I looked at the 300 scouts and said, it's not happening. Not if I know it's coming.
Right.
I don't care how hard he throw. They was like, yeah, Oates, you never seen 97. And I remember telling the scout, yeah, he never seen me hit. First pitch, double in the gap. I said, I don't know what you guys talking about.
Right.
Not if you know it's coming.
Right.
Right? If you don't know it's coming, curve, slide, of course, anybody gets you.
Of course.
If you telling me you're going to throw me a fastball? No, that's not happening. Yeah. My last name, my brother would kill me.
Yeah, I kind of, it's funny you said that, because when I had Frankie on and when we had him on the set and Louis Lopez and the guys, that was my answer to them. I wish I worked harder. I wish I ran. I wish I was in the gym. I took the game, like my 200 swings or whatever it was. Yeah, I did that part. And I felt like, what? I hit. I'm 7th in the nation, whatever. Like, they should take me. I don't need to be in shape. I don't need to be a physical specimen. And it was the wrong mentality. It was, it wasn't, like you said, avoiding service. You know what I mean? It was just certain things that kind of like, what? I wish I did those.
I wish I did. And before we go, in 94, I'm going to make my brother laugh. This is a true story. In 94.
We got to get DJ on, man.
Yeah. I come home from college. And, of course, my brother didn't get to go to Virginia or Texas. He's hearing the stories. He's getting a buzz from some of the local New York scouts that your brother's doing well. So I come home, and I'm going to play in St. Mary's. Right? So I told my brother, I said, listen, I got this team before the draft. Come down to the game so that way you can see what your brother was doing in college. He goes, well, I bet I'll be there. So David Wagner put me on the team, man. The funny story is the guy that hangs out with Jay-Z, OG Juan, that was our coach.
Oh, wow.
So David Wagner puts me on the team, and he tells the coach, leave him alone, just hit him fourth, and leave him. The whole team's Dominican, Puerto Rican. I was always the only black kid. Right. Hit him fourth and leave him alone. My brother comes to the game. My brother's hyped. The stadium is the St. Mary's is packed. I'm on deck, and he's screaming at me at the top of his lungs, bro. You better not strike out. I didn't come to this park just to see you hit a single up the middle. You are Oates, and I'm just on deck, and I'm like, bro, just let me hit. Nah, I didn't come here for that. You better go yard, otherwise I'm leaving. All right. I get in the box. First pitch, I hit it off the lights. So I tag on Plago, yo, that's good enough for you? He stays quiet. Right. He stays the game. Next at bat, off the lights again. He goes, yo, you gonna leave me alone now? He goes, yo, little bro, you got it, man. You can You got it. You got it.
That's cool, man. Yeah. That's it seemed like DJ, he was kind of like your rock, like your push, right? As they say. So Al, I want to thank you for this, man. I appreciate your time. Like I said, I know we kind of breezed through by things, but this is just a tip with SAZON. So, this is what we do here. You and DJ more than welcome anytime. It's an open platform for you guys. We talk LeBron, we'll talk NBA stuff. We'll get to that stuff later on down the line. But again, I want to thank you and I appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna give you one more. Less than 30 seconds.
You got it, brother.
We're at the University of Richmond. There's about 50 players there. We trying out. I'm already senior. School already finished, and we playing an inter-squad game against William and Mary, Old Dominion, all the D1 schools. It's only 4 black ball players there. Everybody else is white. Me, Keith Ross, Andre Johnson, and Brian Edlow. And it's the first time I ever hit with a bomb bat. I didn't know what a bomb bat was, but everybody's using a bomb bat because they didn't want the bats to break. And they will call you by your last name to come hit.
Right.
It's about 40 or 50 scouts there. First at bat, double off the wall. Second at bat, double on the left field line. Third at bat, double to right center. And as you come in, the scouts are there so you can fill out all the information in between your at bats. It's getting late. We're losing by 2. I haven't hit in an hour. I'm sitting there filling out every card. They go, Oates, we want you to hit against this guy. So they brought in some lefty from ODU, throwing about 95. So I'm walking to the plate. It's getting late. All the scouts are behind the stands. I say, yo, game's over. Let's pack it up after this at bat. What do you mean? I'm going yard. Game's over. The pitcher hears me. First pitch, he throws it inside, knocks me down. So I tell the pitcher, that's not going to do it. You got to come across this plate.
Right.
Because I was tired. I'm like 22 years old. I'm like, yo, this drafting is getting annoying.
Right.
Next pitch, I go yard to left center, flip the bat, walk around. Everybody's going crazy. It's like 6 o'clock in the evening. We stood there till 9 o'clock at night. Every MLB team, don't go nowhere. Go home and just wait for the phone to ring. Rest is history. Phone never rang.
We still waiting.
Still waiting.
I hear you, brother. Hey, you know what? It wasn't in God's plans. You had other things to do. You had other lives to touch.
Right.
Again, I appreciate this. And
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Alex Oates.
Thank you, man.
We talk, buddy.
Okay.
Guys, thank you. Thank you for this. You know, DJ, you know, I appreciate the kind words. Like I said, you know, I would love to have you on sometime. And Egg Roll, we're going to get it rocking Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard today, on Saturday I will have a sporting cards, hobbies. You know, tell them what up. What you doing, brother? You missed it, but you can watch the rewind. Guys, if you like I said, please subscribe to my channel, Just the Tip with SAZON. And I'm also at the set 6145. We bring a lot of conscious stuff to the community. You guys are my community. You know, this is what we do, man. With financial literacy, all type of stuff we talk there. So, you know, we got to keep paying it forward. Nobody taught us and from the ground up, and this is what we're trying to do and teach ourselves. But again, guys, thank you. On Saturday, we have the Card Cave Will Vera, and 6 p.m. Saturday. If you guys want to join me, and please subscribe to my channel. Consider subscribing. Just the Tip with SAZON and the set 6145. Have a good night, guys.